And at this time, I'll even call up Harosh Hanasi'im, even our Chief Prince Yeriel ben Yisaskar ben Yisrael Baruch Haba.
Hallelujah. 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 Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
First and foremost, we give thanks, praise to the creator of heaven and earth, the God of all of us, the God of everything. And I say to y'all, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Blessed once again to the creator of heaven and earth, the God of us all. Wow. It's a great day. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be before the creator. And for us who know where we at right now and appreciate it, it's a beautiful thing. You know, because there's a lot of places we could be. There's a lot of things we could be doing. But the Most High would have us to be here right now, hearing his word, dwelling together as he would have us be. Again, we've been going through this, we starting all over the Torah, as we should do, year by year. And we're going back around to Genesis. And in this portion I'm about to talk about, as we just seen, Joseph is in a prison, you know, and he meets people. So he meets the butler and the baker, you know, but they come to him with a problem. So he helps with the problem. But as things go, you know, well, first of all, it's been a long time since Joseph has been away from his family, you know, and some of us who went anywhere can understand that, you know. He was 17 when he was split apart from his family, you know. It's like when I went to the military at 18, you know, when I was in Brooklyn, I was a young cat. You know, I was the baddest guy. I was in my little circle, you know. I was nice in high school. I knew a lot of people. But when you went from Brooklyn to Austin, Texas, or San Antonio, Texas, and you looking around at all these strange faces, and, you know, I mean, you're still young and everything, and now you got, where am I? What the heck am I doing here? What did I get myself into? You know what I mean? And you looking at all these strangers, you out of your comfort zone now. You know, you from Brooklyn, you talking to people from South Dakota who have totally different mindset than you. Yeah, and you like, wow. I mean, even when you're laughing and joking with them, it's all right. But when you lay down to go to sleep, you be like, oh, what I get myself into? What am I doing here? You know, you just couldn't pick up the phone and call email. You couldn't do this. Couldn't ask your brothers and sisters questions. You was pretty much on your own. You know, our kids go to college these days, you know. I mean, you all right at home, but when you go out there and you by yourself, even though all them people around you, feel by yourself. You feel alone. So this is what Joseph is going through, and he's been through some bumps and bruises. So we're going to get in here in the book of Genesis and just see how our forefathers go about this.
Amen. We're in the book of Genesis, the 41st chapter, starting at the first verse. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, well-favored and fat flesh, and they fed in the reed grass. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean flesh, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean flesh kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke. And he slept and dreamed a second time. And behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 ears thin and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And the thin ears swallowed up the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream.
Okay, it says 2 full years. Now, this is 2 full years after Joseph had his encounter with the butler and the baker. Right. So 2 years then went by, so this makes about 13 years that he's been incarcerated. Okay. So now Pharaoh has these dreams, you know, and dreams be so real, you wake up, you know, sometimes you're sweating and everything. So he like, all right, the first one, it says, and behold, there came up from the river 7 kine, well-favored and fat-fleshed, and they fed on the reeds, on the reed grass. And behold, 7 other kind came up out of the river, ill-favored and lean. So the first 7 kind was all strong. They was, they was looking good. Right. They was some big, nice, pretty kind. It said they popped up, and said then the other ones popped up behind them, looking all skinny and frail, and, all cracked out. So, but they just look bad. They look bad on the eye. But, and it said, he said, and he slept again, and he dreamed a second dream. And behold, 7 ears of corn came up out of the stalk, and rank and good. And behold, 7 ears, thin and blast, with the east wind sprung up after them. And the thin ears swallowed up the 7 rank and 4 ears. Okay, you say 7 rank and 4 ears. I mean, anybody, like if you may not have been in the military, but if you know anything about military, when you in rank and file, I mean, it could be 100 guys down the line, but it looked like one person because, everybody's in line, everybody's looking straight forward. You're on one accord. Even when you're marching, you got a heel beat. It just sounds like one person making a step. It's loud, but it sounds like, and that's, you look at that and you're like, wow. They practice that. It looks good. Everybody's in uniform. Everybody looks good. But then you got F Troop. You got them cats that's just all out of it. You look at them, and one is leaning this way, and the other one is standing straight, and the other one, and you look at it, you be like, what is this? And they all thin, and they skinny, but then it says the thin ones ate up these big rank ones. Right. And it was as it didn't happen. And if you got children, and you watch them, and this skinny boy eating all the food in the house, and you say, he don't gain no weight. Say that boy ain't gain a pound. Yeah. Eating up everything. And that's how these thin ears looked. Right. It swallowed up everything, but you couldn't see nothing in this. And this thing is bothering Pharaoh. Yeah. Come she.
Verse 8. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled. And he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream. But there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. Then spoke the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I make mention of my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants and put me in the ward of the house of the captain of the guard, me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. We dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was with us there a young man, a Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream, he did interpret. And it came to pass as he interpreted to us, so it was. I was restored into mine office, and he was hanged.
All right. He said, now Pharaoh had these dreams. He woke up. And like I said, when something bothers you in your sleep, you wake up in a sweat, it's disturbing you. Now, I got all these people on the payroll, that I pay to take care of these kind of things. When I come to you with something, right. You're my advisor, you my interpreter, you the soothsayer, you the magician. Right. Look, I want to see, I don't call you every day. Right. I might not call you for weeks, months, but when I call you, I want you to do what you get paid to do. Right. So now none of them can interpret these dreams. So now it's a problem. We all looking at each other, and if you know anything about making promises, when that butler made that promise to Joseph, he was in distress. When you're in distress, when you had too much to drink and the bed is spinning and you just looking around, you're like, Lord, if you get me out of this one, Lord, if you help me through this one, I ain't never doing this again. You make all kind of promises when you got a situation. You standing before the judge and they like, listen, Lord, please, if you let me get away from this case, I would never, ever do that again. But as time passed, as we do, we forget what we made that promise. I made that promise go away after time. He told you, well, look, man, it's a holiday, man. I'm going to take a little drink. You forget your promise that, listen, I'm away from that stuff. And then, another situation come here. You just throwing up again. Boom. So now everybody is running around. So now it's going to come back to the butler mind. Because the Pharaoh might do something in his anger. So now it's coming, oh,
we got to get this guy, we got to clean, do it. And he says, but even in the haste to get to interpret this dream so everything can calm down, they got to wash it up.
Right.
Just like with my main portion, you get to take off the dirty rings.
Yeah, that's right.
Put on some nice clean garments.
Right.
Clean up for the Most High.
Right.
That's right. Clean up yourself.
Clean up, that's right.
Same thing with Joseph. Even though, look, we found him, but he's a mess.
Yeah.
He's a mess. So, hey, we can't take the Pharaoh like this.
That's right.
It's make a bad situation worse.
That's right.
Go make him thinking like that. Pharaoh will really flip out. I don't care what you know, man. You ain't talking to me like that. So you had to clean them up, shave them up, make them presentable to Pharaoh. So they cleaned them up, took them before Pharaoh. Come she.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that when thou hearest a dream, thou canst interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer of peace.
There you go.
Listen, I've been away from my family 13 years. Well, a lot of this stuff my Abba told me about and about how great he was, most of us would have lost it.
Right.
Most of us in going through all them situations he went through, going to Potiphar and God's wife coming at you and being in a dungeon. Most of us would have said, well, God done forgot about me. But he still gives the glory to the Most High. He still says, listen, this ain't from me. Everything that comes from God. Comes from you.
And Pharaoh spoke unto Joseph in my dream, behold, I stood upon the brink of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in the reed grass. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and very ill-favored and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. And the lean and ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So I awoke, and I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up upon one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And the thin ears swallowed up the 7 good ears. And I told it unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. What God is about to do, he hath declared unto Pharaoh. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 lean and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years, and also the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind. They shall be 7 years of famine.
Okay, now Joseph is breaking this down to him. And again, Pharaoh just had to repeat his dreams like he did the first time to the magicians who couldn't do it. But so he reiterated everything. And as we know, I mean, the dreams show because they deal with the Nile River. And all the either you get a good water or like, see, I'm gonna look at my notes so I'll have this right. Okay, when you're dealing with the Nile, right? And your crops depend on the Nile. You know, when the Nile is up high, you get good crops. When the Nile don't flow no world water, your stuff dies. You know, and then they say you have tropical rain from Central Africa. So if it overfloods, it also kills your crops. So all of this is important to the dreams. So now he's telling them all this is one. The Most High is showing you, but he showed you 2 dreams to make it sure, to make it seem sure in your eyes. And he said, one is plenty and one is famine. Come see.
Verse 28. That is the thing which I spoke unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he hath shown unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine. And all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt. And the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine which followeth. For it shall be very grievous.
It shall be grievous. But if anybody, again, if you know about making money or something, or, you know, some of us used to be, you know, like hustlers and stuff out in the streets, you know, before you went clean. But it was a thing where when you was making this money, you thought you couldn't be broke again in life. Right. When this money was coming head over here day by day by day, you sat there and saying, no way I'm going to go broke.
Huh? You just splurging and you kicking it around. You going to the jewelry shop and you buying all of this stuff. And then, you know, like most of the fat cats and all of them, they never thought they could be broke. Yeah. They never thought they'd be in jail saying, yo, you got a cigarette? But these things happen. Right. So, I mean, this teaches us, too, that in your days of plenty, you have to put something aside. You have to make good investments. You just can't just squander your money and say, oh, man, get that check, that nice check now, you know what I'm saying? Got that good job he just started talking about. But you got to put some money away, son, because you never know what can happen. You got to have a stash. So this is what Joseph is trying to tell Pharaoh now. He said it's going to be days of plenty, 7 years, with a lot of stuff coming your way, and everybody all around going to be having the same thing. It's going to be plenty all over. And then it's going to be 7 years of famine. And they said the famine going to be so grievous, you can't even remember when you had money. You can't even remember the days. It's like, man, yeah, it's hard to fathom. You know, you have, listen, an hour day until you got to look back at pictures and say, wow, I used to have that. I drove that. We was on 40th Street, 2nd Street like that. With all this gold and all this. Man, I can't find none of them rings. Yeah, and that's for famine. That was times when we go in the store, you know, and people buying stuff. And he's like, look, we got everything on the counter. Just go ahead, Julio, just add everything up, and we got it. And then it was days when things went bad. Listen, you go from Ralph Avenue and Lincoln to Ralph Avenue and Fulton Street, saying, yo, Pons, let me get a six-pack, man. I'll give you the money later, you know me. Because you broke, but you living on the good that you used to do. Yo, Pons, let me get one of them beers. I'll give you that back. I mean, you never thought you'd be in that position. But it happens. So this is what Joseph is telling them. Make preparation when everybody else is just going there and doing stuff. Put something to the side. Come sheet. Where we at?
Verse 32. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass.
It said this thing is from God. And when they say remember the Sabbath day, remember the Sabbath day. When this thing keeps coming at you, it's being established by the Most High. Certain things he gonna say twice. He said, well, you just read that 5 minutes ago, remember the Sabbath day. And then 3 lines later, remember the Sabbath day. But it's because it's so easy for us to forget. Thou shalt not do this. And then you repeat it. Thou shalt not. You be like, wow, just keep saying this. But we forget. How soon we forget. That's right. Yeah, that's right. You know? So things have to be reiterated. We have to sit here every week. He could have just said, listen, take one day out the month and make it out my Sabbath day. But a lot of us wouldn't have lasted. A lot of us don't last a week. That's right. A lot of us done by Tuesday. By Tuesday, we done. We done forgot everything that just happened on here, and we just moved on along. Yeah. So this is why this thing is coming at you twice, Pharaoh, because this thing is going to shortly come to pass, and that's why it's hitting you hard, and you got to keep thinking on this, what I just told you, and all of this plenty, you got to keep saying, yo, that guy who broke that dream down, 5 more years. Yo, you got to keep this thing in your mind. And that's what we don't do. We don't keep things in our mind. We get signs from the Most High. He show us stuff, and you're like, wow, this was directly for me. This sign was directly for me. But after a minute, it just goes away. It fades. Come see.
Now, therefore, let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint overseers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 years of plenty. And let them gather all the food of these good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh for food in the cities, and let them keep it. And the food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this, a man in whom the Spirit of God is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as God hath shown thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou. Thou shalt be over my house.
Listen, when somebody comes to you, when you're sitting there with a situation, you're like, wow, man, We need us a place, man. We need, we need to find a way to make some money. We need to find a way to, to regroup. We know everybody's, living day to day on their paycheck, so we can't keep going to people's pockets. We need to find a something, man, that's going to make us, get money fast, because in New York, the buildings is $1 million plus now. So we got to find this, and we sit down in a meeting, and somebody just come up and say, listen, I feel if we do this, if we do that, we got a little this amount in here. If we invest this and this, it's almost like a sure thing. And if we do this and that, then I think by dust and dust time, we should have enough to pursue something. And they say, yo, but you just need somebody who's going to go and talk to you. You got to be the person, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got us convinced. Go into the bank and convince them. You know? I'm sold. Yeah, do that, man. You need a lift? I can drive you there. Yeah. But who else would you give that to? If somebody broke all of that down to you and he said, all right, Maury, go ahead and handle that. Maury goes, huh? Yo, this guy broke it down. I mean, 1, 2, 3, he broke down all the steps, and, he made it plain. You can see exactly what he's talking about. You can see it working. Who else would you get that job to? So he said, ain't nobody better at this than you, bro. Huh? He said, you got the whole Pharaoh. Look, besides me, ain't nobody else, ain't no top dog. Come sheep.
Verse 40. Thou shalt be over my house, and according to thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. Okay. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his signet ring from his hand, and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck.
I got to deck you out now.
Yeah.
Huh? You my right-hand man now. As I look, so shall you look. You know what I mean? I got to put this ring on you, because somebody going to try you. You know what I'm saying? There's people who wanted that position a long time. So you got to have something that say, listen, man. Yeah, Pharaoh ain't say all of that, man. He going to say, look, you see that? You see what I got there? You keep talking if you want. You see this chain? Huh? Where you used to see this chain at? Huh? What neck you used to see this chain on? Pharaoh neck. That's right. He laced me with this. Where your chain? Check this linen out. Pharaoh's house. So, you gotta deck your part as you look, so he look. You know what I mean? So you can't have, your brother looking too much. It's like the Europeans out here. You say, wow, they've got the black suits on. Because, as I look, so my brother look. So you ain't gonna tell you I got $10 million and he got $3. Because I look just like him. Come see.
And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. And they cried before him, Abret. And he set him over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or his foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph named Zaphanat Paneah. And he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On. And Joseph went out over the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Now, he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Now, Joseph, again, like I said, he left home as a young man. And he went through a lot of stuff. But even in his ups and in his downs, the Most High was with him because he stayed with the Most High. Whatever he did, he was put at the top of it. You know what I mean? In Potiphar's house, you over everything. In the dungeon, you over everything. You in jail, but you over everything. You the head jail person. You can't get no key to get out, but all this other stuff you can get. Huh? You get the top food, you get all of that. Now again, he's on top. So if we stay with the Most High, whatever we put through, some of us go to prison, some of us is here, some of us there, but you got to make sure that you stay on the top. When people look at you and say, wow, he might have caught a bad situation, but that guy right there, he got some wisdom. He still got a glow about him. He still, you can still go to him and he say, well, thus saith the Lord, and, and brother, if you look at, if you pray on this first, and, people gonna say, all right, they might be in captivity, but
but they still on top. And that's what we got to be, the top and not the bottom. Come see.
And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt. Verse 47. And in the 7 years of plenty, the earth brought forth in heaps. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities. The food of the field, which was round about every city, laid he up in the same. And Joseph laid up corn as the sand of the sea very much, until they left off numbering, for it was without number. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the year of famine came, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bore unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh. And Yah hath made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second he called he Ephraim. For God hath made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. And the 7 years of plenty that was in the land of Egypt came to an end.
All right, so in his works now, he had to make good on his promise. He told Pharaoh all this stuff, and some people can just give you what you want to hear. They can just tell you what you. I'm just coming out the dungeon, man. You give me them dreams, I'm gonna make your ears tingle. Whatever you want to hear, I'm gonna tell you. I don't want to go back in that dungeon, man. It's cold and damp in there. You know, so now you get out, you shaved up, you looking good. So some people can sell you dreams, but now he's making good on us. You know, the days of plenty, everybody's partying and having a good time and saying this will never end. Say Canaan and everybody is Mizraim. They all just partying. They like, wow, man, there's plenty of stuff here. Eat, drink, be merry. But he's making and putting the fifth part away. He's stashing. He said they stored it like the sands because you didn't know how much was in there. So you know, and I mean Pharaoh, he got it. We'll come by every night. Wow, that's looking good. Yeah, plenty. You know what I mean, everybody's still eating, having fun, and we got plenty stashed. Nobody even know about this. Don't even care about this. They don't say what's in them sheds. Don't nobody care. So you got plenty of wine, you drinking, you got grain, you got all of that. So people, you know, at this time they don't care. So now when the famine comes in, comes you.
And the 7 years of plenty that was in the land of Egypt came to an end. And the 7 years of famine began to come, according as Joseph had said. And there was famine in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph. What he saith to you, do.
Go to Joseph. Go to the guy, listen, who I trust with everything. And what he say, you do. Don't come to me. And don't go to nobody else. Go to Joseph. And as he tell you to do, that's how we going to work this. Because, you know, and now they famished. And they looking at the Egyptians and it's like, wow. The people in Egypt, it's like, man, Pharaoh done got everything stored up. And this stuff is, I mean, it looked like it went away in one day. You woke up and everything was gone. Bad dream. That's because you didn't save. You didn't think for this moment. Right. So now when it's gone, it's like, wow. I gave everything up yesterday, today. You look around and the cupboards are bare. Yeah. Come see.
And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine was sore in the land of Egypt. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph to buy corn, because the famine was sore in all the earth.
Now everybody's feeling it. Everybody. So now we got our security down because everybody's coming from all over, you know, buying up this stuff. So now we got the prices. We bagged it up. We in business because we did the right thing. We made preparation. And there's going to be times when you have bad times when the stocks drop and when this happened and everybody's in a frenzy. But you saved yours. You put a little here, you know, you put a little there. So you good when everybody else is going through, what you call that? Hard times. I take that. You know, I look for one of the Wall Street words, but I take hard times. There you go. A recession? Recession. Everybody else is in a recession, you know, and a recession, a hard time. Recession puts you in depression. So, you know what I'm saying? And we just still smiling. Come see.
Chapter 42, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now Yaakov saw that there was corn in Egypt. And Jacob said unto his sons, Why do you look one upon another? And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die.
Now, if anybody again got children, you know these things. When things are going on, you in the house and
You're like, yo, why is y'all all looking at each other like this? Y'all just sitting around lollygagging. Don't y'all see ain't no more paper towels up there, man? Huh? Who gonna take that garbage out? Y'all just walk around like everything is beautiful. Huh? We down to the last roll of toilet paper, and everybody, ain't y'all in a panic right now? Huh? I mean, and you go overboard, you know, so that we should live and not die. I mean, we had some things here. We had some things to eat, but that bread went with everything, huh? That bread went with everything. And we here say that it's some over there. And why y'all ain't over there? Why I got to speak up? Why I got to always say, yo, go over there and get something, man. Go to the store, man, get some milk, man. Go to do this. You see it like I see it. Huh? You see it just like I see it. You know, open that refrigerator 100 times just like I did. And you see it ain't there, but do you gonna go to the store and get it? No. Huh? Yeah. I got to go get it. And then you gonna eat it up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Come, sheep.
And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn from Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brothers, Jacob said not with his brethren, for he said, lest peradventure harm before him. And the sons of Israel came to buy among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan, and Joseph was the governor over the land. He it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down to him with their faces to the earth.
All right. And first of all, Jacob, he said he held back Benjamin.
Right.
Now, you know, like the son said, he's the father of 12, but they got different mothers. Now, and we know from the story that Raquel was the one that he liked. He loved. He loved, not like, he loved her out of all of them. But, and that was his baby boy. And all he seen was Raquel when he looked at this boy. And Joseph ain't no more. So he's like, listen, this guy ain't going nowhere. Y'all go get some food, but he ain't going nowhere. He going to stay here with me, and we're going to chill and hurry back. So it says, and Joseph was the governor over the land, and it was he that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down to him, their faces to the earth. Now that's what you got to come humble. When you come before this guy with all of this stuff, they come in with humility. Bunch of people. Everybody's out there, but Joseph is the one guy who's standing there, who you got to come see. So he said, he's seeing his brother coming. You know, he's cleaned up. He's got his Egyptian garbs on. They don't know him. Come see.
And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spoke roughly with them. And he said unto them, whence come ye? And they said, from the land of Canaan to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew him not. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, ye are spies. To see the nakedness of the land, ye are come.
He remembered the dream. See, all of this stuff stayed in Joseph's mind. I mean, it clicked right back. I told them cats they was going to come and bow to me. I told them one day they was going to just come and they got mad. They got mad at me because I told them what their future going to be. And that's what happened. They got pissed, and they didn't know him. They ain't know him from a can of paint. You know? He got on Egyptian garb. They got the old Hebrew stuff on. You know? They got the old beards and all of that looking scruffy. And he's clean as a whistle. So they don't know him. And pretty much you ain't going to look him all straight in the eye like that to try to figure out who this guy is. You know what I mean? You bow your head, you tell him your business, and press on. Come, she.
And they said unto him, nay, my lord, but to buy food are thy servants come. We are all one man's son. We upright men. Thy servants are no spies. And he said unto them, nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said, we thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest this day is with our father, and one is not.
All right, and again, now he said y'all spies.
Right.
I mean, and it's not far-fetched because you got a lot of people, you know, who got money, that work their fields, and they also got the cutthroats. You got them old cutthroat cats that say, yo, they got all that stuff in Egypt. You know, strap up, man. You know what I'm saying? we going to take something. You know what I mean? Even the buzzard, listen. He said, if something don't die soon, I got to kill something. You know, so when you're hungry, they like, you know, so it's not far-fetched when Joseph is looking over people, he's going to say, yo, security. Check them guys out over there, because they come up here and they ain't got no bags. If you come to buy grain and you ain't got no bags and nothing, certain stuff just look strange to you. So it ain't far-fetched for him to say that. But the brothers, they coming to buy, they got their stuff. But he know them, see, like, yo, y'all spies. To check out the nakedness, check out my weak spots. That's where y'all come to see if y'all can get over on something. Check them guys out. And they probably seen some other guys get caught up the same way. Said, no, my Lord, we're not spies. So you coming out with all the truths. Come sheep.
Verse 14. And Joseph said unto them, that is it that I spoke unto you, saying, ye are spies. Hereby ye shall be proved, as Pharaoh liveth. Ye shall not go forth from hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you and let him fetch your brother. Ye shall be bound that your words may be proved, whether they be true in you, or else, as Pharaoh liveth, surely ye are spies.
All right, so now you done told him about your brothers and all of that. So he said, okay, I'm going to prove y'all not to be spies. Go get your little brother, bring him back, and then y'all, y'all good money. Come sheep.
And he put them all together into ward 3 days. And Joseph said unto them the third day, this do and live, for I fear God. If ye be upright men, let one of your brethren be bound in your prison house. But go ye, carry corn for the famine of your houses, and bring your youngest brother unto me. So shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so.
Okay, so you said, okay, go get your little brother. I want to bond one of y'all up. I'm not going to lock all y'all up and just send one away. I'm going to lock one of y'all up. You go get your brother. Now, down the line, I'm going to say something else about this, but I ain't going to blow it up too fast. Okay. All right, but so they said, okay, all right, this will do. Come see.
And they said one to another, we are verily guilty of concerning our brother, and that we saw the distress of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us. And Reuben answered them, saying, spoke I not unto you, saying, do not sin against the child, and you would not hear. Therefore also, behold, his blood is required. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for the interpreter was between them. And he turned himself about from them and wept. And he returned to them and spoke to them and took Shimon from among them and bound him before their eyes.
All right, again, now Reuben said, look, man, now their brother is coming back to their heart. Because if you done did any evils in your life, when bad stuff before you, first thing he said, man, this is because of dust and dust that I did, man. I did this and I knew I was wrong, man. And I knew God would one day repay me for this. And then Reuben, he come with his, didn't I not tell y'all that? I don't think they listen to Reuben too much anyway. But didn't I tell y'all not to do this, man? And it says, now Joseph, he's standing there listening, but he ain't really kicking with them. He got an interpreter. He's talking to an interpreter who knew Hebrew, and the interpreter is talking to them. That's like what Chief Ooze and them used to say. They used to go in the Spanish stores. They all black. They ain't no Ooze knew Spanish. And the good dude tell the other Spanish guy, yo, watch them, man, they gonna steal. Say, yo, man, let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here. This guy over here talking about we thieves. So you don't know who understand what. Huh? I had a brother Hosea, his chief's brother. We used to go into the hardware stores and all that, and we moved around. And then he just start, they say something to each other, and he just start hitting them with so much Hebrew, boy. I used to smile. I ain't no better Hebrew, bro. I knew my shaloms and all that. Well, but he used to tear him up, man. Oh, Hosea used to make this so mad that I walk out, man. I say, yo, I thought you said there wasn't no curse words in Hebrew. I said, how you pissed them off like that? He said, but he hit him with so much stuff, boy, they just be like, out of my store. But they still want our money. They're so greedy that they still let us buy stuff. But he had them red in the face, man, and I'd be like, wow. Because they try to say some slick stuff. They think we just two old guys, just come in and get some construction stuff. And he stands at the counter listening. And then he's like, Mom said, what up? He's be hitting them with stuff, man. And they be hot. Oh, yeah, much more Hebrew than them. Well, they start talking Yiddish or something, another language. Yeah, start talking Polish. I said, I bet you don't understand my Polish or my Russian. Yeah, but that's what it was. So Joseph is standing there, he listening to them cats talking about him. Talking about how they did me dirty.
Right.
And now they paying for it. So okay, I'm gonna run this just a little further now. Come see.
Verse 25. Then Joseph commanded to fill their vessels with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision for
spied his money, and behold, it was in the mouth of his sack. And he said unto his brother, my money is restored. And lo,
my sack. And their heart failed them, and they returned trembling one to another, saying, what is this that God hath done unto us?
They still know God is in the matter. What's this God doing unto us, man? We paying for our sins now. You know, but in all this, Joseph I got an Abba over there. I got a little brother over there. Pack them bags, man. Make sure they get enough stuff and give them their money back. You know, your money no good here. Give them their money back because that's going to make sure they come back. Come see.
And they came unto Yaakov their father into the land of Canaan, and told him all that had befallen them, saying, the man, the Lord of the land, spoke roughly with us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, we are upright men, we are no spies. We are 12 brethren, son of our father. One is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Lord of the land, said unto us, hereby shall I know that ye are upright men. Leave one of your brethren with me, and take corn for the famine of your houses, and go your way. And bring your youngest brother unto me, then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are upright men. So will I deliver you your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land.
Then now you're coming home. You got the stuff, the bags packed and all this, but you got to break down everything to Abba. This is what happened, man. The craziest thing, man. Craziest. And we got there, we laughing, joking with each other, and we go up to buy this grain, and this guy want to talk about we spies, Abba. He said this guy came out of nowhere calling us spies. Can you believe that? Abba probably looked at him and said, look, I do look like some rough desperados there, man. I look kind of harsh, man. So, yeah, it looks suspect. So, you know, then they break it down.
And it came to pass as they emptied their sacks that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when they and their father saw their bundles of money, they were afraid. And Jacob their father said unto them, me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Shimon is not. And you will take Benjamin away. Upon me are all these things come?
Y'all killing me, man.
Right.
Y'all killing me, man. Look, I try to look. Can I take every blow y'all been hitting me with, man? See, now Joseph is gone. Shimon is gone. Y'all want to take my baby boy? You're killing me. So now go. What next?
And Reuben spoke unto his father, saying, thou shalt slay my 2 sons if I bring him not to thee. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him back to thee. And he said, my son shall not go down with you. For his brother is dead, and he only is left. If harm befall him by the way in which ye go, then will you bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave.
Listen, Joseph is going. I just told you.
Yes.
I just said they got Shimon over there. They might be torturing him and kill him now. You gonna take Benjamin with you,
right,
and some before him is gonna kill me, but you telling me to kill my grandchildren too. I'm trying to fool you. You want to say if you get my baby boy killed, I should kill my 2 grandkids.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And I was supposed to sit up with you. You ain't never liked me anyway.
Don't forget.
That's with my wife.
Yeah, exactly.
You ain't never liked me.
Exactly.
I don't know what I did to you, man. Now you never liked me real bad.
Like that.
Now you proved it.
That's right.
If I ain't think so before, now you proved it.
Right,
Kill
right.
my grandkids.
Erased all doubt.
Unbelievable. Yeah, you erased all doubt, man. We couldn't help ourselves, man.
Right.
Just find something dumber and dumber to say. Come see.
Chapter 43, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And the famine was sore in the land. And it came to pass when they had eaten up the corn which they had brought out of Egypt, that their father said unto them, go again, buy us a little food. And Judah spoke unto him, saying, the man did earnestly forewarn us, saying, ye shall not see my face except your brother be with you. If thou wilt send our brother with us, we will go down and buy thee food. But if thou wilt not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, ye shall not see my face except your brother be with you. And Israel said, wherefore dealt ye so ill with me, as to tell me the man whether ye had yet a brother? And they said, the man asked straightly concerning ourselves, and concerning our kindred, saying, is your father yet alive? Have ye yet another brother? And we told him concerning the tenor of these words, could we in any wise know that he would say, bring your brother down? And Judah said unto Israel his father, send the lad with me, and we will rise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and thou, and also our little ones. I will be surety for him. Of my hand shalt thou require him. If I bring him not unto thee, and set him before thee, then let me be in the blame forever.
All right, now, in all of this, as I said earlier about us forgetting stuff, we forgot Shimon was even there until we got hungry again. Huh? We forgot our other brother was there until our bellies started growling. It's time to go back down there. We should have been said, look, man, let's strap up and go get our brother, man. Yo, they got our brother over there kidnapped, man. But we had food, we good. After a while, Shimon got, and he probably took Shimon away. He said, because that Shimon and Levi together, boy, that could be a problem. I'm separating this here. Shimon, you going to stay with me. Because I may have a problem if I take one of these other guys. If I take the Sos guy, and y'all two together, I know what y'all can do. Right. Y'all done wiped out cities, so I'm just going to split y'all up. So he kept Shimon, but now Judah's like, listen, the man earnestly said, don't come back without our little brother. Mm-hmm. So, what we going to do? As I said before, I was going to say, listen, at some point, I mean, these dudes are speaking so honestly, but at some point you say, listen, Ethamar, come over here. Get one of the servants or something. You look just like Benjamin. You go with them and just say that this is the little girl. Right. I'm making substitute. I'm keeping my baby boy. These dudes the same age. They got that same beard in their eyes. You go. And God be with you. No, but they just so earnest. They want to send me out. I said, Benjamin, you stick around here, old boy. Get a double. Get a stunt double or something. Somebody else, they look just alike. Right. And they don't know that Joseph, they don't know that this guy's supposed to be able to tell all of this stuff. You send anybody down there and say, oh, they go no right here. All right, on the land. But nah, they was thinking so deep in this, it gotta be Benjamin. I said stunt double there. I'm sorry, I take care of your family. So, Benjamin ain't going. But they didn't think like that. Right.
Verse 10. But except we had lingered, surely we have now returned the second time.
Yeah. He said we wouldn't be talking so long. We'd be back by now. Boy, we'd be back by now. And if anything's before him, I'll take the surety of it.
Right. And their father Israel said unto them, if it be so now, do this. Take up the choice fruits of the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little balm and a little honey, spicery and latinum, nuts and almonds. And take double money in your hand, and the money that was returned in the mouth of your sacks, carry back in your hand. For adventure it was an oversight.
Maybe it was a mistake. Listen, maybe somebody just by chance start putting the money in the bags by mistake or something. Take that back plus double, plus we're going to come bearing gifts. Right. Okay, how rich a person is when you come to their house and say, hey, here's a bottle of wine. Here's something, to share with you, you don't say, oh man, that guy got plenty, man. He don't need nothing from me. He didn't need my little bottle of wine. But you gotta come bearing a gift. You gotta show some kind of thought, like, yo, I appreciate just being invited here. I appreciate, this. So you gotta, even though you think they got it all, you take a little something. Don't you?
Take also your brother, and arise, go again unto the man. And God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may release unto you your other brother and Benjamin. And as for me, if I be bereaved of my children, I am bereaved.
Now he coming to terms. He said, listen, man, okay. And that's a little prayer. He's praying this. God, listen. God Almighty, give us mercy.
There you go.
He said, listen, but take your brother. I pray that he come back, your other brother. If not, it's just for my sins. Don't you?
And the men took that present, and they took double money in their hand and Benjamin, and rose up and went down to Egypt and stood before Joseph. And when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, Bring the men into the house and kill the beast and prepare the meat. For the men shall dine with me at noon. And the man did as Joseph bade, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. And the men were afraid because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time, are we brought in, that he may seek occasion against us and fall upon us, and take us for bondmen in our asses.
Right. He said, ain't nobody else in there. All the people out there buying stuff and coming through the land and buying grain. Ain't none of them in the house like we in the house. Yeah. He said, it gotta be a problem, man. Yes. You gotta feel a way. All these people come from all different lands, all walks of life, and we the only ones standing up in Joseph's house. Something right, man. And that's what your heart gonna think. Yes.
And they came near to the steward of Joseph's house, and they spoke unto him at the door of the house and said, O my Lord, we came indeed down at the first time to buy food. And it came to pass when we came to the lodging place that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight, and we have brought it back in our hand, and the other money we have brought down in our hand to buy food. We know now who put our money in our sacks.
We're pleading our case. This is when you start pleading your case. Like, listen, man, we ain't steal nothing. We ain't steal. And look, if you even think that we took it, we brought it back. Plus some more. Plus we bearing gifts. We don't want no problems. We just want to take some food home, our brothers, and get out of here. And you're humbling yourself. You know, and you coming before this guy and this people, man, and they speaking different languages around you. In a foreign place. You don't know how this gonna go down. That's right.
And he said, peace be to you. Fear not. Your God and the God of your father have given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money. And he brought Shimon out unto them.
Listen, even when you don't know, or you act like you don't know your God, there's people around you who know who your God is. Thank you. There's people who know who your God is and know more about it than you. Try going out on Friday nights and yo, you ain't supposed to be out here. Yeah. Try to go on in one of these. They said, don't they sell pork in there? Why you? That's right. I know you eat pork. What you doing to this? All of a sudden, they hit you with your stuff. Oh, yeah. That's right. You know, all this guy said, look, your God, the God of your fathers. Yes. Not that guy I worship. No. You know, not the cow I worship. No. This is your God. Who did this for you? That's right. You know, and I put the money in, so you good on that one. Right. Chill. Just, ease yourself.
Verse 24. And the man brought the men into Joseph's house, and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their asses provender. And they made ready the present against Joseph's coming at noon. But they heard that they should eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed down to him and to the earth. And he asked them of their welfare, and said, Is your father well? The old man of whom ye spoke, is he yet alive? And they said, Thy servant our father is well, he is yet alive. And they bowed their head and made obeisance. And he lifted up his head and saw Benjamin, his brother, his mother's son, and said, Is this your youngest brother, of whom ye spoke unto me? And he said, God be gracious unto thee, my son. And Joseph made haste, for his heart yearned toward his brother. And he sought where to weep. And he entered into his chamber and wept there.
This thing was still beating him down. Yeah. I mean, even though he put him through all them tests, especially when he seen little bro, he like, listen, I can't cry in front of these cats. Right now, it's still early, so I can't show no sign of weakness. So he looked for a place. He said, let me go over this bathroom. And he went, he wept, washed his face, you come out, Sometimes, like a certain person always tell me, men only cry in the dark. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, you be at that point where you just want to slip come on, man, you wipe your face, come back down, and you get back on your argument or whatever. But he just couldn't, he couldn't show that sign of weakness. So he went to the side for right now, and then he came back out.
And he washed his face and came out, and he refrained himself and said, Set on bread. Yeah, set on bread. And they set on him for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians that did eat with him by themselves. Because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews. That is an abomination unto the Egyptians.
Everybody, we might be cool, but certain things we don't hang out. Y'all guys eat like that, I eat like this. Y'all stay over there.
You know, the boss said bring y'all in, but that's cool. But I'm not sitting down breaking bread with y'all.
Yeah.
I don't like y'all like that.
Good.
So everybody, you know, do into their separate ways, and you know, you sit at a table, you might overhear them saying a prayer, you be like, oh, they praying a whole different God than I pray. You know,
Right.
separation. Comes from.
Verse 33. And they sat before him the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men marveled one with another. And portions were taken unto them before him. But Benjamin's portion was 5 times so much as any of theirs. And they drank and were merry with him.
Now this God is down now. Now you're eating and drinking, you're laughing with him. You know, but you're marveling at this like, wow, look at us here, man. Wow. But you're looking around and you see the gold trimmings and, you know, you're like, wow, okay. So, yeah, you're still a little nervous, but, you know, a few of the drinks got down in you now. You know what I'm saying? You relaxed a little bit. You know, Simeon is out there now. So, you know, all the brothers is here. Come see.
Chapter 44. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, fill the men's sack with food, as much as they can carry, and put every man's money in his sack's mouth, and put my goblet, the silver goblet, in the sack's mouth of the youngest, and his corn money. And he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken. As soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, they and their asses. And when they were gone out of the city, and were not yet far off, Joseph said unto his steward, up, follow after the men. And when thou dost overtake them, say unto them, wherefore have ye rewarded evil for good? Is not this in which my Lord drinketh, and whereby he indeed divineth? Ye have done evil in so doing. And he overtook them, and he spoke unto them these words. And they said unto him, wherefore speaketh my Lord such words as these? Far be it from thy servants that they should do such a thing. Behold, the money which we found in our sacks' mouths, we brought back unto thee out of the land of Egypt. How then should we steal out of thy Lord's house silver or gold? With whomsoever of thy servants it be found, let him die. And we also will be my Lord's bondmen.
That sound familiar?
Yeah.
That sound familiar? That sound like what I was thinking. I would say, wherever you find them gods at, that person should die. You speak real quick, fast, You don't know who got it, but you killed them all. So they said the same thing. Listen, we ain't no thieves, man. We just getting out of a situation. You know? I mean, and we got that trust in each other. That none of us took this goblet. You know, y'all misplaced it or something. Y'all gave us extra money, we brought it back. You know, does that sound like somebody who want to steal your gold?
I don't think so.
But he still works fast though. Whoever you find a goblet with, kill them, and the rest of us will be your servants.
Oh.
Now I don't get nobody coming home.
Right.
Now I just gotta sit here waiting day by day. So why do they carry him? So, you know, I'll see.
And he said, now also let it be according unto your words.
Yeah.
He with whom it is found shall be my bondman, and ye shall be blameless. And they hastened and took down every man his sack to the ground, and opened every man his sack. And he searched, beginning at the eldest and leaving off at the youngest. And the goblet was found in Benjamin's sack.
Listen, and when you feel so true about yourself, so surety, surety, you're taking these stuff, man, look at this stuff, man. You're taking this stuff off fast. Because you know ain't no goblet in yours.
Right.
And everybody feel the same way.
Right.
But your money was in there before, you know, so you're supposed to be like, oh Lord, man, this is another trick.
Right.
But anyway, with their surety, they put the bags down, and again, they went from oldest to youngest. I don't know how they know this stuff. Maybe they asked, which one of y'all is the oldest? But cool, then they found it in Benjamin. So now this is a whole situation.
Excuse me.
My man said, we got a situation.
Yeah.
Because this is the main fact. If we just send him home, man, and the rest of us be out here, Abba might be all right. But this is rough. Come shoot.
And they rent their clothes and laid every man his ass and returned to the city. And Yehuda and his brethren came to Joseph's house, and he was yet dead. And they fell before him on the ground, and Joseph said unto them, what deed is this that ye have done? Know ye not that such a man as I will indeed divine? And Yehuda said, what shall we say? What shall we say unto my Lord? What shall we speak? Or how shall we clear ourselves? God hath found out the iniquity of thy servants. Behold, we are my Lord's bondmen, both we and he also in whose hand the cup is found. And he said, far be it from me that I should do so. The man in whose hand the goblet is found, he shall be my bondman. But as for you, get you up in peace unto your Father. Hallelujah.
And all of this, he's still bringing God in it. He
Yeah.
said God had found out the iniquities of thy servants. But even Joseph said, far be it from me. He said, I'm a just guy, man. He said, I've been showing justice all this time. He said, I'm not looking for all y'all. Somebody got found with the goblin. I'm gonna keep that. The rest of y'all go home to your album. But Judah got to speak up, as we're going to see later on. And Judah already made this bond with Abba. So he's got to speak up. But in the interim of this, these guys done threw themselves down and rent their clothes, and it's real humility time now. Now we got to, and it's times like that when our pride cannot get in the way. In certain situations, our pride cannot get in the way, because when we're going before the Most High, or we're going before people of a certain stature, we got to humble ourselves. You can have all the truth and all of this, but if you come the wrong way nasty, nobody trying to hear that. Before I step down, I just want to read something here. I was looking through some papers the other day, or Wednesday, so I just found this. So I just want to read this and say something. They said one to my Imam, one to me. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. So when you hear this, you know that much. This, I think, is wrote like 1983. It says, Prince Yeriel Isaska.
Okay.
1882nd Command Squad. He said, I would like to personally thank you for the outstanding work, outstanding job you did as a student leader in the 3757 Student Squadron. I realize that this required considerable effort in addition to your schoolwork. Your experience in this position will allow you to continue your Air Force career with a better insight into the Air Force operations and responsibilities of an Air Force leader. As a student leader, your personal sense of responsibility and initiative were consistently demonstrated by your outstanding ability to effectively supervise approximately 50 student airmen at your work call, your school formation, dormitory inspections, and many other necessary duties that your performance has placed you well above your peers in your professional development. Your enthusiastic attitude helped keep the morale of your personnel under your supervision at an extremely high level, which added significantly to the accomplishment of the ATC, the Air Traffic Control Mission. I am extremely grateful for your cooperation and earnest effort to be an outstanding student. I would find it a distinct pleasure to have you in my command at any future time. Best wishes to your first operational assignment. And this is from the commander of the air base. And I did that not to like boast on that little thing, whatever. But it's more to at 19 years old. At 19 years old, I was put in a position. I mean, you never know where your future is gonna lead you. I had no idea that one day I would be up here in leadership with big guys like this. You know what I mean?
Hallelujah.
But you never know what the Most High has in store for us. So that's why we gotta prepare ourselves and make ourselves ready for anything that may come our way. Because back in them days, Lord knows, I wasn't in no leadership position, but I was put there and I made the best of it. It helped some people along the line, but as I said, you never know that you'll be in this position with us at D.C.B. and all the other great leaders that's out here trying to lead God's people. So we all leaders in our own way, but may God bless y'all.
Amen.
Parasha.